bottom lane to go for a gank onto JP and to Oheb. So now they're trying to sandwich the two members of TLPH. Sanji already cast the Astral Echo, but Kirk with the power of Wilderness drops down.
Close in terms of the goal. They were able to find resources elsewhere, but this is a do or die objective for Team Liquid. If they lose this massively, you might count the game already for Onic.
Kirk.
Oh!
Dead again?
The KK connection brings down Oheb as Carl TZ steals away the turtle. Super Frizz goes in with the Crimson Beacon and Lantern Flare.
Two members down on the side of Liquid. It's Carl TZ and JP.
CC to control Kelra, and he takes down a turret with him.
Jump in.
Oh, clutch hard guard there from Brusco. Sanford for the chase, he was too fast. Carl TZ jumps in, pops the Wiki Shadow Kill, but Kirk shares the damage as well, and they save Kelra.
Good routing by the run of Kelra as now he's getting chased down. Let's see if Team Liquid Philippines will be able to take down the Irithel. Kirk now gonna get Dark Wave. He's getting jumped on. King Kong gets alone without a problem, but Kirk falls down to Team Liquid Philippines, but that's all they will get.
Yeah, and all throughout that, King Kong was just working on the Lord, and now the clackback. Super Friends goes in with the Crimson Beacon plus Lantern Flare. Just look at the damage of Kelra alone to all the members of TLPH.
And this whole time, King Kong gets the Lord. He's managing one of the waves at bottom too, cutting it off. But that's the thing. That was all pretty much a distraction. You saw how long they were able to survive just that whole exchange because of the speed and mobility that an Irithel brings, but then also you throw an Angela on top of that. So great distraction from Onic Philippines. Now it's TLPH that has to deal with this Lord push.
Lord sieging in onto the top lane. Still Onic Philippines taking the discipline route. Good cast of the Astral Echo to try and prevent Onic from snowballing now, and they will be able to take the Lord down.
If Team Liquid Philippines manages to pull this off, it's going to be one of the greatest comebacks of all time. PH MLBB, but Onic look absolutely hell-bent to just sweeping up the cavalry here, to being the first team to make it to MSC, to try and defend their legacy for immortality. They are just mere moments away, but can Team Liquid hold on and extend this to a point where they'll be close enough to turn the whole narrative around?
Yeah, and for Onic, if they manage to sweep TLPH, this would be the first sweep of our playoffs, and at the same time, the first time a third seed will win over a first seed in the regular season.
Man, I said it yesterday. I was like, there's no way this is going to be a sweep when TLPH was in that position. They're in it now, and it's looking a little dicey. You know, 4K behind. You got a lot of ground to cover still across the lanes here for the majority of it, and they haven't had an answer really just yet to deal with this sustainability that the Angela brings to this. But even then, when you have a lineup that's meant to go ahead and catch people, especially with an Avatar of the Guardian, for example, from JP, but there's just, on the other side, there's so much mobility, you really have to be able to land those Avatar of the Guardians, the unbreakable taunts, and what have you. But it's just difficult. How do you catch Kelra, you know, and how do you get to the right targets here when everybody's running? I mean, think about it. Hilda, Baksha, the Irithel, and
even
Angela. Yeah, I mean, so your only target is Super Prince. But do you even want to get close to Super Prince? Because then he's just going to throw you around.
Yeah, one of the main targets could be King Kong, but what can you do up against a Baksha that has an Angela, and at the same time, it's hard enough to drop the AOG. What more, the Astral Recalls from Sanji. Sanford forced to flicker because Super Prince is there with the Crimson Beacon, Lantern Flare, Astral Echo drop down. JP goes in for the AOG. Is this it for Onic Philippines? Will they continue? But they force out the Revitalize, and TLPH retreats.
All right, good thing Onic Philippines have backed off there as the Lord already spawned. If they decided to dive that tower, that would have been way too much. Big resources gone though. Good thing Sanford committed that flicker, because if he didn't, he would have gotten caught out. JP went in with the AOG, but he got out as well with the Revitalize, and Onic were disciplined. This does not look good for Liquid. This is going to be an extremely difficult Lord take. Even if Carl TZ can somehow steal it, what will be the price? Will they pay the iron price in blood, get the Lord, but then lose all their bodies and lose the series? Or will they somehow steal this away and get away with just enough to make something out of nothing with a second Lord of the Game?
Oh,
good zone.
Dragged in. JP's been dragged everywhere.
Oh, Astral Echo already cast it down. Kelra from the back. AOG used defensively. Here comes Kelra with a hard guard. Brusco as well. Sanford got caught up by forward. A killing spree for Kelra.
And TLPH have already lost one, and they no longer will be able to contest this Lord. A free one for Onic Philippines.
Free one. And there was really no option for TLPH to deal with that. Again, like I was saying, Super Prince doing an amazing job of just zoning everybody out. And even Kelra leaving them guessing when trying to go for an off angle and everything. So TLPH, they find themselves in a predicament here. They're going to have to deal with this Lord push. They are down quite a bit. Do they have a chance here, Renmar, looking at the items?
All right, let's look at where Oheb is at. Already up to 4 core items. You know, that should be enough damage from his department, but then look at everything else that Onic has. They already have 2 anti-cuirasses, the Wildlight armor, even on King Kong. The front line is extremely well built. Brusco is there to supplement it with everything you need. Karl'Tezi! Karl'Tezi!
Got caught up there, but was able to quad shadowed out. JP again, defensive AOG. Resources expended for TLPH. He does, however, still have the Revitalize.
He's got the Revitalize, doesn't have the ultimate, though. Maybe if they stall out, they'll have it for a big defense, but even then, you can just see how much struggle there is right now for TLPH.
Liquid running out of time. This might just be it. As Onic Philippines just a few steps away from getting close to defending their championship at home. Lord down, Onic goes in!
Base now exposed. Sanford has to flicker out. Good cast of the Dark Wave, but the first man down is Sanford. King Kong soaked up the damage of the Wiki Shadow Kill. Lord still stood up, but TLPH, their base, has now been exposed.
Minion waves are going to be coming in from the top and the mid. No big ultimate here for Onic. Let's see if they'll get a hard guard back up in time. Karl'Tezi trying.
Oh, you're going to be able to clear out the minions onto the middle lane and the top lane. So Onic... Wind of Nature! Pop Karl'Tezi! OM quite low! JP defensive AOG again! And time after time, Kelra just makes plays like that!
That isn't the god in the gold lane! That is simply Kelra!
Now they're sieging in onto the middle lane. 4 are left to defend. The young goat not in the picture, but Onic Philippines will disengage. Super Prince goes over the Crimson Beacon. Paired up with Kart. They're going to bring down one more. They have minions. Sanford desperately trying to defend, but Kelra goes again. And an unstoppable kill for Kelra.
And it looks like this is it. Onic are going in.
Onic Philippines now a step closer to immortality as they get to defend their crown at the grand finals. But wait, they lost their minions. 2 are left to defend. Is this it? And that is it. Onic Philippines back in the grand finals.
Some of the biggest names in global esports remain in our playoffs. Aurora, Falcons, Liquid, but these